Black Oni.
Hello everyone, welcome to the very first video game video review on the Black Oni channel. This segment will be called J-Blaze Reviews. I'm your host, J-Blaze06, and I have something very exciting for you guys. I hope you're ready. I don't know, are you ready? I don't think you're ready. As a disclaimer, I'm not going to review to be a games journalist. I'm just a guy who really loves to play games, and I think there should be more opinions out there as to what games people should be spending their money on. I'm a gamer at heart. I'm passionate about gaming. It's one of the reasons why I became an artist, and as a result, I try to give you my impressions, my thoughts, my opinions, so that you can make an educated decision on whether or not you want to buy a game. So there are basically 4 criteria you can meet, or 4, categories. One will be pass. This will be for a game that I honestly do not feel you should spend your money on. One will be rent. This will be if the game is good enough to at least play around with to see what's going on with it. One is buy, because this is a game that should be bought. It's a pretty good game. I don't like doing numbers for reviews because numbers don't really mean anything unless they're given context. So the context I'm providing is all within the titles. And then must buy is a game that is so good that everyone who has that console or is even interested vaguely in that gaming experience type, like if it's a first-person shooter or a third-person shooter or an RPG, if you're interested in any of those things, a must-buy will be one of those games that you just have to buy within that category. I'm going to be reviewing Dragon's Crown. Hope you guys are excited as I am and have been to be playing this game. If you haven't picked it up already, long story short is, you probably should. Let's get into the details as to why. I think I speak for most people when I say it's undeniable how beautiful and stylized this game is. Most people will really appreciate all the intricacies in the backgrounds, the environments, the characters, and the animations that happen on screen. Some might be a little put off by some of the sexualization and the over-exaggeration of characters' features, but I for one speak for a lot of other gamers out there who say I'm really in love with the art style for this game. Everything about it is just so fluid and vibrant and intricate. It's basically an anime-inspired Baroque painting come to life in the form of a video game. And really, who doesn't like that? The user interface is a delight to navigate through, and the music and sound effects are just simply epic. Fupic even.
I'm just gonna sit here for a second and admire the beauty that I see in front of me. This is totally a Baroque anime painting. Aside from the fact that it's a naked chick.
Gameplay consists of simple, yet deceptively deep gameplay mechanics. You play as either a warrior, a sorceress, an Amazonian, a wizard, an elf, or a dwarf, each with their own aesthetics, voices, characteristics, and movesets. During my playthrough, I played as the sorceress who, as you guessed it, has her own set of abilities using magic. Pressing the square button lets you release a short-range magic shot which damages the enemy slightly and refills some of your magic. Holding down on the square button charges up your magic. Pressing the circle button in a variety of directions will grant you different magic abilities, depending on the staff you have equipped. You can choose between fire, ice, and electricity, and will find that certain elements work better against certain enemies. I quickly became a fan of her jumping magic attack with the electricity staff, as it creates several thunderbolts around you, damaging all nearby enemies both in front and behind her.
Oh yeah, he's got the fire.
Now each area has hidden areas that you can discover either through using the right analog stick to use the pointer to click around the environment, using talismans that you get later on in the game, or through one of the other gameplay mechanics, which is choosing an alternate path when the narrator takes you to a certain part of the game. You can choose between A or B, and each one of those options will give you different sets of enemies to go against and also different environments and bosses. Pretty awesome. Simply put, the gameplay is addicting, fun, and overall really just a cohesive package of awesome. Not all is perfect, however. Although there is online and offline cooperative multiplayer, you have to wait until you're fairly deep into the gaming experience, around 6 or 7 hours, before you can even dabble into that. You do have the option of playing with people who are close by to you, so if you have a friend who wants to play with you as well, they can jump in at any time cooperatively and play with you. But in order to play online, you do have to reach a certain area in the game, which is, like I said, around 6 or 7 hours. So that is a pretty big detriment on a game that's so heavily focused on its multiplayer components. It's such a shame that something so simple could have been avoided. And adding on to that, in addition, is the fact that there is no voice chat at all for the online gameplay. Come on, really? Is this the 90s or something? Are we still not talking to people online? So when you're playing online with your friends and they want to stop for a second to check out some more stuff in the environment, or they want to kind of, just take in the experience a little bit, you don't really know what's going on with what they're thinking, because there's no way to actually communicate with anyone in the game unless the person is, of course, right next to you. So those are two really big hits for me as a gamer who really just loves social interaction, being able to communicate with players. It's one of the most important things you can have in an online gaming community. So to not have that in this game, which, by the way, Atlus is the publisher for this game, and Vanillaware is the developers, Atlus just has this thing where they just hate having people talk to each other. For me, it's just a huge detriment, because those are all really great games that can really benefit from the ability to talk with other gamers. Some would make the argument that it's not a prerequisite to have a game have voice chat in this day and age, but I disagree with that. I think it's entirely a prerequisite, because this is 2013. Like I said before, social interaction is so much more important than it has ever been. The next gen consoles are all banking on this ability to really connect socially with your friends. PlayStation 4 is going to allow you to watch your friends play a game and join them instantly as they're playing the game, as long as there's room in the room, the space in the server for you to actually go into the game. You can go in and play with your friend and already be linked up in a party chat. Come on, that's awesome. The other problem I have with the idea of not being able to communicate with other people is sometimes you don't really know if the other characters that you're going into a battle with are NPCs or AI, or if they're actual people. You have to actually hover over their name at the top of the screen in order to see if that's an actual human being that you're interacting with. Now, the story is fairly basic, not overly complicated, not the main reason why you got the game, but it's there if you want it. There's an ancient dragon, a very powerful one at that is capable of destroying worlds. There's something in there about a crown that must be retrieved, deception, blah blah blah. I won't get into any of that stuff here, because even though the plot isn't very thick, it's still information that you might find pertinent or interesting to discover on your own. The game is narrated by a very well voice acted man and follows a structure similar to what you'd see in Dungeons and Dragons games.
Just beyond here is the notorious Gargoyle Gate. A gate this solid cannot be destroyed without a massive cannon. Use the King's Army's cannon to breach it.
Although it has its shortcomings, it is really hard not to recommend this title. Once you beat the game, you unlock hard mode, which is definitely more difficult than normal. You can continue playing with your character and switch game difficulties at any point by going to the chapel and playing with your friends that way. If one of your friends is playing on hard and you're playing on normal, they can go down to normal and play with you. The maximum character level is 99, but you can only get to that character level after beating the game. I believe it's 2 times, one under hard and then one under the next difficulty after that. Once you get to that next difficulty, you're able to get to that even higher level. And I'm only like a level, 40? So I have a lot of leveling up to do. Okay, so here's the bottom line. The gameplay is satisfying, getting new equipment is fun, and the enjoyment from just experiencing the visuals, the music, the presentation all together in one cohesive package, it can be just breathtaking sometimes. There aren't many games out there that have this sense of cohesive direction. Buy this game. You should buy it. If you have a Vita or a PS3, you should definitely pick this game up. It's not a must-buy. I'll explain again why it's not a must-buy. Basically, breaking it down, the visuals are amazing and breathtaking. The presentation is just spot on. The gameplay is smooth, it's super interactive, it's super addicting, and it's just a lot of fun to play. And again, excellent sound design. Those are really important things to have within a game if you really want to have an impactful and awesome game. The bad, the online multiplayer takes way too long to unlock. The final boss is really cheap. I'm not going to spoil anything, but pain in my ass. And there's no voice chat in the multiplayer. This is 2013. This should be a prerequisite on every game that comes out. Anyway, I hope you guys liked this video review. If you did, press the like button, the thumbs up button. If you didn't like it, I guess you could press the bottoms down. Don't do that. Don't even bother doing that. Leave a comment in the section below. Subscribe. Every subscription helps, and I really appreciate all the love I'm getting from all the fans and all the friends and all the gamers out there who are just as excited as I am to be, in this day and age of gaming. There's so many awesome and amazing things happening in the gaming industry that I just want to share my thoughts, impressions, ideas to you guys. So again, thank you all for watching. Have a great day. Game on. JBlaze out. Is it recording now? Is it going? Yeah. The user interface is a delight. The user interface is a delight.